Hey folks, welcome to today's live stream. We are here Thursday, FOMC morning, post-election trading on the Nasdaq. So super glad that you're here. My name's Tyler. If you're here for the first time, I'm going to be helping you navigate this wild world of day trading futures. If you are watching this after the fact, you can go down to the line below and you can jump to key moments throughout the day where you can see the trades that I've taken and an explanation of why we took those trades. So if you're interested in that, also if you are starting out in your own trading journey, you can use the code DTJ. And if you want to take your next step and get a funded account or a eval account, you can use the code DTJ to get 80% off your next Apex eval account. I'll have all the links down in the description and the links below. Also, I'll have the link for the sign up for the Purpose Driven Trader Academy below. If you want to know more information, you can find that down there. Let's go ahead and get started and rock and rolling and open up prayer. Father, we just welcome you here this morning. We thank you for the opportunity you've given us to trade. Father, give us the patience that we need for today. Father, we just come against any selfish ambition, any greed or lust for more. And Father, we receive what you have for us. Father, we honor you in our trading. We honor with you with our lives. Father, let this be an expression of your faithfulness to us in Jesus' name. Amen. Okay, folks, let's go ahead and rock and roll. I got an extra chart up here because I've been a little annoyed that I've missed some trades by not having the 30-second and the 1 minute time frames. So we're going to be having the 1 minute and the 30-second present, and I'll be jumping back and forth full screen just to make it a little bit easier to watch, but we're going to be doing that here this morning. We got the opening range gap, which we'll be seeing what that is in about 10 minutes, so we'll be moving this point to wherever it's going to be at. We have our midnight opening, the new day opening gap, and London lows, and the completion of the opening range gap all around this area. So this brings some interest to me for sure. And then the other level we have is 21,050. 21,050 is a swing high sitting right here from a previous day high from a while ago. It's actually the last swing high before all-time highs. So we're going to mark that as a potential draw on liquidity and see if price wants to get up there. Now with price being, with today being FOMC, we are not going to be trading. We're going to be going very, very light, meaning we're doing one micro contract. We're not trading, or we're doing evals. Okay. We do not want to assume we're going to get great price action prior to FOMC. Usually 30 minutes after FOMC, we get a lot of great price action. It runs very smoothly. But at the same time, even when you're doing that, you want to do very light because the runs can be 50 handles very, very easily in a matter of a minute or two. So we just want to be careful with that. If you trade your eval account like you do a funded account because you're looking to pass your eval, I would not be trading this morning. I would be doing your demo account only. That's how I would be trading because FOMC is here today at 2 p.m. So from a higher time frame perspective, we are extremely bullish. There's all-time highs. And I think those are going to be ran soon. There's the last swing high. That's from July 15th that we're seeing that price action there. Okay. So I don't expect us to be bearish quite yet, simply because I want to see this candle print, see where it ends up, and then the following day I think we could come into this daily fair value gap. This is a large daily fair value gap that's going to be formed. I want to see how that forms. We also could see price do a retracement down to this previous week high sitting right here, and we could find a retracement down to that level. If we bump out to the weekly time frame, today's Thursday. This is the type of candle I like to see on a TGIF type situation, where we get a full-bodied candle and then we retrace 20%. So I don't expect that. I mean, that could happen today. We probably need to keep that in the cards. It doesn't necessarily, in my opinion, this is not ICT, this is Tyler's opinion, does it need to be a Friday? We could wick above this previous week high sitting right here, and if we wick above that previous week high, we could get that retracement. We could get that 20% retracement for the week and then consolidate the rest of the week. If we look at just what the weekly profile has looked like, here's Monday, here's Tuesday, here's Wednesday, we're now in Thursday. We could get a Thursday reversal, meaning we could get a push higher into this level and then retrace for the rest of the week and then hit all-time highs next week. That's a real possibility. If we look at the calendar, which I'm not going to put it on the screen here, but if we look at the calendar for next week, do we got any major news events? We don't have any news on Monday. For Tuesday, we don't have any news on. We have orange folder news on Tuesday. On Wednesday, we have core CPI. So big news event on next Wednesday. And then we have on Thursday, we got core PPI on Thursday. And then on Friday, we got core retail sales. So Thursday, Friday, Saturday next week are going to be big days. So considering we've gotten such an expansion, I really would like to see this level hit first and then the retracement. But we could start seeing a Thursday type reversal type price action. So let's go ahead and get everything set up here, and we're gonna get going. How are you guys doing this morning? What's going on? There we go. Okay. 2, 1. We got 5 minutes till open, and I think that's my overall analysis. 15-minute time frame. We got a 15-minute fair value gap down here that has not been tagged yet. That would be a nice target to run for below the opening range gap that's sitting down there. And then from a 5-minute perspective, this looks like a potential market maker sell model. The question is, do we want to, at open, run to this high? So we're going to mark that as a previous day high. You could even do probably a previous month. I don't think it's a month though. Drop in here. All right, so we have quite a big displacement. At open, we're going to know if we're going to be having a 5-minute change in state of delivery. If we have a 5-minute change in state of delivery, right here, we could see some lower prices. We have a fair value gap sitting down here, a swing low sitting right here on the 30-second and 1 minute. So all those levels are of interest to me. let's hit, guys. We're let's get to 15 likes, and we'll look at taking a on-screen trade for you guys. That's the goal. Let's hit 15, and then we'll be giving us the green light to be able to do that. I need to be able to see outside. And bam, just like that. Just like that, we hit it. So hope you guys are having a good day today. Hope your whole week has been going well. As far as trading, so far this week has been pretty decent. I had a good conversation towards the end of the stream yesterday about just some things that I want to see different in my trading and the types of trades that I want to take. And so we're gonna really put an emphasis, or at least I'm putting an emphasis on those things. And I hope that you guys are constantly analyzing your trades as well. There's a nice breaker right there. All right, there's we are 42 seconds till open. This will be a nice breaker. Be somewhere around here. All right, nice push higher. Here's a nice 30-second. Let's see if this 30-second wants to play out. See how the price wants to react to that level. All right, so nice reaction at this 30-second. See if we want to push higher towards the previous day high. Not that this isn't the previous day. This is like July 15th. But it looks as if we want to run towards that direction for sure. My computer's really choppy. Everything is... Let's see it hit that high. Okay, so we swept that high just barely. That's not enough for me. I want to see this push higher. I guess it could leave it, but before we see anything lower, I want to see. I do want to see that. It could leave these equal highs for FOMC later today. That would actually not be a bad idea. So if it leaves these equal highs from October or July 17th and leaves that for later, and we start moving lower, that's not unreasonable in my mind. Let's just see how it reacts on this 15 or the 30-second here with this order block. See if we find support here or if it wants to continue lower. We also have our first fair value gap sitting right here on the 1 minute. What a change right there. See if that wants to push higher. Have a heck of a close right there. All right, so now that we push through this high, let's see how price wants to react around this level. That's really what we want to watch, is how this price reacts around this level. This opening range gap isn't too large. I mean, it's 80 handles, 70 handles, which is a decent size. We just need to look for our right opportunity for running to the midpoint. But I think that's a real possibility that we run down into these levels here. Wow, my computer seems really laggy. This makes me a little nervous. Okay, we wicked down into this order block right here. Nice, 2 down close candles, and we moved higher really nicely, creating this order block, and then immediately we come back down, tag the opening price of this order block here, and then have continued moving higher. Looks really nice. Looks, I mean, order flow is definitely bullish right now. ES is consolidating right now. NQ looks way nicer than ES at the moment. It's like ES doesn't want to go any higher. What does it look like on the daily? Yeah, we're already at all-time highs on ES. ES is going to reach for 6,000. Look at that. There's ES right here. 6,000's right there. I'm going to just mark that. I mean, that's a huge number, so let's just see what happens when we get there. Make sure my micro screen is working here, folks. Give me a second. You're going to see a little... We'll come back to it. To be honest, I don't have an upside target other than all-time highs. I mean, I can't. And all-time highs is in at 21,240. I just don't see the market wanting to run that yet, especially prior to FOMC. So we're getting decent price action right now. Well, we're just moving straight higher. We're waiting for some type of displacement lower. We need, or some type of retracement to give us an opportunity to go higher. I'm not a fan of going higher at the moment. I think all of our opportunities for draws on liquidity are lower. These are short-term draws because it is abundantly obvious all-time highs are in play. And so we just had to be very careful because at any time you could see a nice 30-40 handle pullback to continue higher. If I'm going to play all-time highs, that's the kind of play I'm going to take. Is not going long here. It's going long on a trade like this, finding support inside this fair value gap and then going long. If you look at the 30-second, look how the 30-second looked here. This was beautiful. We wicked lower and then we immediately closed this fair value gap, creating an inversion fair value gap towards these highs. That was a beautiful trade. Here's an inversion, but it's off a, we don't have any, I don't have a key level here, so I just can't take that level. I can't take that trade. That could easily just continue to pump higher. We really have to sit and be patient here. Looking for this price to come back up into this fair value gap. I might look at this as a very small breaker to see if it wants to move lower. Now, if it came up here as quickly as it did, it may move that quickly downwards, and it may not give us that level. But if it does, I might look at just doing a very small entry there and seeing if we get a retracement. See how we just barely didn't get that. That's okay. That's okay. We're waiting. We're going to wait for that to come into it. Waiting for that level right in here. That's really where my eyes are at. Now, we need to watch it and see how this candle reacts to it. Okay. This is not an A+ breaker. There's no fair value gap on the left side. Really wanted that to come up before. ES looks very bearish, short-term bearish right now as well. Nice displacement, but let's see what happens right here. No chase, no chase. That's our mentality. We can't chase. If we can get an inversion right there, inversion right here, that would be a nice push higher. It's not an A+. It's not an A+ simply because we didn't grab any liquidity. But I want to see if that wants to reach back up to there. So we did inverse this. Let's see how this plays out here. Looking at these highs right there on the 30-second. That level is kind of what we're watching. Doesn't want to give it to us. This is why we can't take these inversions right here when we don't grab really any liquidity. When we don't grab liquidity, these are very low probability, not very high quality. Now that we swept that low, it's looking a little more aggressive. Let's see if it wants to give us that high or into this box area, into that area. See that candle? That candle, this candle right here tells me we should not and shouldn't be trading right now. We need to be patient. Still wanting to see that level reached. And at this point, what I'm really watching, because we're in a bullish environment, if we aggressively close above this, we may continue to see higher prices. So we got to watch this level for two things. Do we find resistance here, or do we break through it? If we break through it aggressively, there's a chance we run for these highs. Okay. Now we are pretty tapped. We are pretty extended. So it makes everything less probable and higher risk. And so you just got to be careful. I mean, you can't just, you're not going to want to mess around with that. I personally would not be messing around with that for high risk situations. All right. So there's our tab into that. Let's go ahead. I'm going to take one contract short. Let's see if that puts it there. Based on, this is not a high probability setup, but I'm testing if we close above this inversion, we'll be closing that trade. Our goal is to get 10 handles, so 40 ticks if it's gonna give it to us. That's really what we're looking for right there. If we close above this, that will close the trade. All right, there's a nice trade right there based off this breaker. And why did I only do one micro contract? Two reasons. One, I'm learning to, trust these breakers, especially on these big moves right here. I need to build my history, more of my history with taking shorts off of trades like this into a breaker. And then number two, we're in an environment that FOMC, so we should not be really trading or trying to go for extended runs. As you can tell, I literally took that trade, took my 10 handles and got out knowing that we have FOMC, and guess what happened? It literally evaporated. So just being extra cautious in an environment like this is so important. Okay, now I'm interested in a close above this right now. If we close above this, I see this running at least to this imbalance right here. Okay, so there's that imbalance right there. That's just a hiccup. That's a fair value gap right there. So we want to see it push through that, but I expected some type of hesitancy here. If we can get through this, we should hit highs. Okay, so we did not close above it. We still need to wait for that close above if it's going to do it. Sometimes it will just do it in one fell swoop. Sometimes it will close above it and then run. We have this nice fair value gap right here with a volume imbalance. I expect this to be tagged. It wouldn't surprise me if we tag this first. Boom, boom. Something like that. That's the 30-second. That would also run into the order block on the 1 minute sitting right here. Okay, so there's the tag in there, and let's see if we push higher right here. I'm expecting it to push higher. Okay. There's a higher push just like expected. This is not bad price action, folks. I mean, it's literally doing exactly what I'm thinking it's doing, which is great. This candle is what gave it away. Okay, so you need to be able to identify candles like this. When you see candles like this, look left and find out where your imbalances are or your fair value gaps are. This is your long right here, and we took that to the highs. So great price action for being the morning of FOMC. Hey folks, do me a solid. Somebody give me a thumbs up on the chat to make sure that the chat's actually working. I'm honestly I'm very surprised that there hasn't been a single message. So just to make sure, somebody give me a thumbs up on the chat. I see people hitting the like button. But is the chat working? I just want to make sure. I mean, this has been a fantastic stream. Just no chatting. I'm surprised. All right, so based on how this happened and it being about 10 o'clock here, 10 o'clock here in about 45 seconds, we may be reaching for these. We may be reaching, I don't have an upside target, guys. I really don't. I really don't have an upside target right now. No clue. And that's okay. If you don't have an idea, you have to just sit back and take a break until you have some type of analysis that you can rely on. And we did have an analysis that we could rely on here, right? We took a breaker short, and then I did on my personal account, I did take a long here. I have a model that I'm trading. It's called the 930 model. This is day 2, or I've done like 7 or 8 days in a row, and this is the second time it's actually failed. So I basically traded it to get that back to break even. So I have a 930 model that I'll be releasing to in my Purpose Driven Trader Academy. I'm going to be launching that trading academy here by Black Friday. I'm going to be sharing that with everyone. However, if you would like access to that at the lowest price it will ever be, it will never be lower than the price that I'm going to give those that are on the wait list. That just shows me who's interested, and I want to reward those that are choosing to be on that wait list. So I'm going to drop that link right there. That link is if you would like to join that wait list. That will give you access to the Trader Academy, which I go over all my trading models, including the 930 model, which I've just started using, the inversion, the breaker, and then it also gives you access, it's only a one-time fee, to the Discord, the Kingdom Trader Discord, which we'll be doing back testing, we'll be doing all kinds of stuff in the Discord, and it's not a monthly subscription. No monthly subscriptions for that. It's just a one-time thing to build a community of traders, of kingdom-minded traders. All right, look at this. Let's see if this is sustainable. I want to see a displacement. I want to see a sustainable displacement, not just a wick and then we lose the body. I want this to be a full-bodied close to start seeing lower prices. And it doesn't even look like it wants to give it to us. Here's the 2-minute and the 3-minute. Oh, the 3-minute has a nice fair value gap there. I like this 3-minute. For an inversion fair value gap sitting right here. So if we close below this on the 3-minute and we get decent displacement, that could be a move down to the previous day high right here. Now, the thing we have to be careful about is our draw on liquidity is all-time highs. It just is. I just don't know how high it wants to go right now. It's an unknown factor. We just don't know what it is. And because of that, we just have to be extremely cautious. ES has already hit all-time highs. NQ, let's see, let's jump to the 4-hour here. The 4-hour has a volume imbalance sitting right here. Let's go, I'm going to just drop these levels here for this 4-hour volume imbalance. Maybe we want to reach up into that. So I'm going to mark that on this chart. You guys are seeing me mark it right here. You see the 4-hour volume imbalance. It's not too far away. Let's see if price wants to reach up into there. It would give me a level of confidence that we've hit a key level if we get displacement. It's when we get displacement lower, when we haven't really hit a key level, that it just makes it a little sus. It makes it a little questionable on what's going on here. So that's why we always have to look left. We always have to look on a higher time frame to give us context on what we may be running into. Yeah, that's not looking bad. I'm looking at this. We're gonna keep track of that and see what happens. After that, I don't even know. The next level, to be honest, would be the midpoint of this wick, which is sitting at 20,187. Sitting up here. All right, so there's our tag into that volume imbalance on the 4-hour. Let's see how this reacts here. Do we just push right through it? Does it pretend it doesn't even exist, or are we going to get some type of reaction here? I'll be right back, folks. I really need to get an ibuprofen. So I'm not sure what's going on. Would you guys, somebody go onto my on my X profile and send me a message there? Send me a message and let me know if we can't use the chat today. I don't have a single person on the chat, which is very surprising to me. So I just want to make sure everything's working properly. If one of you is able to go to my profile on X and then just send me a message there, let me know if you are or you can't, or somebody drop a, I don't know, it's kind of strange to be honest. All right, so here's our reaction. When I'm seeing this displacement from this volume imbalance, I'm a little encouraged, but I'm still cautious. We need to violate this order block, and really I want to see a close below this 3-minute fair value gap that's sitting right here. Okay, that's kind of what I'm watching for as far as order flow goes. Got it. Okay, so okay, so it seems like the chat is working. I just can't see it, which is very, very strange. So I apologize that I can't read any of your guys' messages. So like I said, I'm cautiously optimistic on seeing price start moving lower, but we need to still be careful. We did run into, on the 1 minute, this order block, and we closed above this order block. So this could be a proportion block, meaning if price wants to, this could start moving higher. I'm not sure it wants to or not, but we're cautiously looking at this as a potential propulsion block. A propulsion block only is a propulsion block if the following candle or one after starts moving higher aggressively. So this may not turn in or not be classified as one if we see lower prices. So that's how we look at this. It basically says, okay, be careful. Let's just wait and see if price wants to go higher. However, because we hit this 4-hour volume imbalance, I'm not as confident it wants to do that, but we're in a position where we have all-time highs already hit on ES and potentially running for those levels here. We're only 120 points away. And I've seen days where we'll run 200, 300, 400 points in a single day. Hey, okay, I refreshed my page. I see all your guys' chats. Here we go. I got trades by Slade. Slade. Welcome. Yeah, this is I love this one. It's nice and warm. It keeps me warm all the time. I don't have to worry about being cold. So I see your guys' comments now. I'm glad it's working. I just had to refresh the page. So let me go back and see who we got here. We got pushing higher again right now. Wilhelm, good morning. Carmen, Charles, Ted, good morning. So Boston, are you still here? Good morning. It's the first time I've seen your name. The forecast is all-time highs, baby. Villainous, good morning. Yes, ES has literally hit all-time highs, and it's just running higher. LJ, good morning, my friend. Everybody stay safe. CM, good morning. Pete, good morning. How you doing, my friend? All right, let's see how we react here. I honestly, if I'm looking at this, what I would like to see, if I'm the algorithm, I would like to see this. Boom. I want people to think we're going long again and we're going to explode higher, but then we don't. That's what I'd like to see. Alkai, good morning. Northern, morning, afternoon. Villainous PA has been very clean, surprisingly. I mean, when I'm reading, here's the thing. I know I can read price action on good price action days, and that is what we've gotten. So if you are getting better at reading price action, it's probably because it's great price action. If it's not, it's probably crappy price action. So do you see how we just ran above this real quick and then rejected? Why? I mean, look at the environment we've seen for the past hour. It's just been higher, 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 higher. And so we hit higher prices and then we just reject it. Now, it doesn't mean we can't go higher, but I was like, that would be nice. If I was behind the algorithm and I'm trying to take other people's money, that's what I would want to do. Alkai, inverse fair value gap. I don't know how long ago that was. I'm waiting on this 3-minute. That's really the most obvious one to me, is that 3-minute inversion. See how that reacts. It's the cleanest. It's the most obvious. Good morning, Deborah. Ty Sears, good to have you. Tony, good morning to you, my friend. George, I don't know if I've seen your name before. I'm glad to have you this morning. Welcome. Keith, how you doing? We will get purchase link to email when we sign up. Yes. Keith, when I send that out, it will be to everybody on that list, and they'll get first. It won't be to anybody else but on that list for 5 days or so, and then I'll share it with everybody else that's not on the list at a different price. Okay, I think I got through all the messages. All right, so nice displacement. It's even following my line. It was kind enough to follow my line that I created for us. Now that we swept this level, okay, let's watch this. Let's watch that inversion right there. Only with aggression. Only with aggression do I have that in my, am I keeping an eye on that? The 1 minute has a inversion fair value gap down here. But this is the 3 minute one. This is now a breaker. That would be a breaker sitting right here. I said I wanted to practice these. This makes sense to try. So I'm going to do, if we can get up into this, I will take a short with a single micro for this breaker that's sitting right here. If we can get up into there. All right, took a short there. Horrible fill, but let's play that out and see what happens. So if I took my entry here, ten handles would be there. So I'm going to put my stop there. It's definitely a larger stop, but I just got a horrible fill when it went into that fair value gap. So that's what I'm watching here. So we did just inverse that on the 1 minute. I'm going to average down with a second contract here. These are micros, by the way, so this is very, very small, and I'm not even copy trading right now. So no copy trading either. Okay, we did just pierce through the mean threshold. Excuse me, the consequent encroachment of that fair value gap. Here's that order block, or here's the breaker. There is an argument for putting your stop loss up here, which you have this fair value gap overlapping with the breaker, and then you have this first candle forming the fair value gap right here, putting your stop loss right there. There's an argument for that. I already had such a low, horrible fill that I don't want to have it all the way up there. Okay, it looks like we might get stopped out here. Oh, tell you what. If that pushes through, we might go higher. Let's see how this closes. The only thing I don't like right now is we're at 1025. We're in the middle of the macro, or middle of between macros. So do I expect price to just run in my favor? I really like to see it happen in the macro. We did make highs. We did make a high in the macro. So that makes sense there. And we could just see continuation. We just might get a little more slower price action consolidation. Or we just push right through this. We'll see. This trade is based on this being a high, low, a higher high displacement back up into this breaker right here. On the 30-second, you can't see it on the charts, but that's not a nice candle on the 30-second. That ain't pretty on the 30-second. Oh, that's nice. Consolidation. You can't, it's harder to read price action in consolidation like this. That's why you can't just take trades in consolidation. Meaning, it's hard to read which way it's going to go when we're in consolidation like this. We took the trade with a higher time frame perspective, but trying to find out what's going to happen inside this consolidation is difficult. That's just not that's nasty. A lot of people would take a long off of that. And it could work. The thing you have to be careful about is, what are we in? We're inside consolidation. So it means almost nothing. It's just random. There's no consistency in it. Let's find out if I'm right. I mean, it looks like it wants to go higher. It did not close. Did that close above? I need to look on this. It did not close above the fair value gap on the 1 minute. It did not close above the fair value gap. ES is still looking bullish. 5 minute is just a bunch of wicks. Isn't that crazy that all this started happening once we hit that volume imbalance on the 4 hour? Telling you, you got to look left and find out where those levels are. It will help you. All right, this might look like the tag. Close red, close red, close red. Ooh. Nice. I'm making it a little higher in case it just wants to sweep this high. Right here, I'm moving my stop not because I want a larger stop loss, but I mentioned before that a proper stop loss would just be up here. It would be at 21,124, which is, you have these 3 down close candles. The middle is the fair value gap. the first candle of the 3, 1, 2, 3, that's where your stop goes at the high of that candle. This is the last trade. I'm thinking that we are going to have subpar price action for the rest of the morning into FOMC. So if I can get below, actually, if I can get below here and I can see a push lower, I might move my stop to break even just to preserve profit, just to preserve my account, because I'm thinking we're going to be consolidating in this area. We may not get a gigantic push. I need it to sweep this low, and push for this low. Needs to be aggressive. Stops at break even. Come on. We didn't do all that work for nothing. Get our first tag. There we go. All right. Breaker number 2 is a success. All right, here's our 3-minute that we mentioned before. I'm going to jump to the 3-minute because that's what we were watching earlier. Here's that 3-minute. Let's see how it reacts to this level here. That was a lot of consolidation in that fair value gap for that breaker. Took a long time, didn't it? Jeez. I got to do more of that. I like quick moves like everybody else, I'm sure. The 30-second is about to form a bearish order block. Let's see if it creates it. It did not. Next target, the final target for this trade is going to be right here. Assuming we can close below this 3-minute. That's really what I'm looking for, is to close below that 3-minute. Now we might get stopped out here. All right, there's our stop. Successful trade there. Nice bullish price action here. If it doesn't run this high, are we on the 1-minute 30-second? What does a 30-second look like? Yeah, 30-second ran it. So this is definitely a bullish environment, folks. And I think I'm gonna sit out the rest of the morning. I'm not gonna take another trade. There's no reason to. We got FOMC in the afternoon. We did dip into that 3-minute, and pushed higher here, right there, and then moved higher. So we did get our breaker. We got our 2 breakers. Basically, it's been all green. I don't think we've taken negative. We haven't taken a loss yet this morning. So we're gonna end on a green note. We have some time. We'll sit and watch price action a little bit here and keep reading order flow. But it's wise to not take a trade. We'll practice exercising discipline by watching trades form and watching trade setups take place and then not taking them. But overall, I'm happy with the breakers that I took and the breakers that I played. We sat in that trade for a good 15 minutes for that trade. Here's a breaker right here. Low, high, lower, low. Let's see if it finds support here. The only negative is that we didn't sweep this high. So any shorts, I'm not a fan of them right at the moment because we didn't sweep this high. They absolutely could work, but we don't want to take anything right now. That's just the reality. You know what? The chat has not been working. I just refreshed it again because I haven't seen any messages. So I'm just going to have to refresh a couple times. But I'm seeing the new messages. LJ, good morning. Jonathan, good morning. Deborah, it has been good price action. Diane, good morning. Yeah, price is always pumping around election. And especially since Trump got reelected, the stock market loves Trump. Keith, I want to go long off this inversion, but all of those wicks underneath. Good morning, Charles. Ted, is this chat working? I don't think so. I have to refresh every time to start seeing if the chat's working or not. So I apologize. To be honest, today has been a great educational stream with some trade examples. We traded 2 breakers. We called out an inversion long towards the open. The 930 model did not work today. We took a loss on the 930 model. It's a very mechanical, you follow A, B, and C. And you do 1, 2, 3, and then it is what it is, which is great for brand new traders. but I reran the numbers. I didn't rerun the numbers. I added to it. And so when I did my initial back testing, it came out to 90. As I've continued to add to it, we are down. It's about an 80% win rate. 83 is where it's at right now. 83%. And to be honest, that's about accurate because I've done 10 days in a row now and I've had 2 losses. So 10 days of winners, 2 days of losses. I'm just still blown away about these 4-hour volume imbalances. Isn't that crazy? I think that's just, it's incredible to be able to see, hey, we're running higher. We ran this previous day high, blew through it. Where do we go? Look left. Hey, there's a volume imbalance. That's the only thing there. Okay. That's where it stops. It's just, it's crazy. So if I was a betting man, I would say we are at this level. We're not going to significantly go higher. We could do one of these things. Just, slowly move higher. And then at 230, we go like this. Hit all-time highs. And then we get that. That's what, if I was to predict something, that's what I think. The other option is we hit all-time highs and we just do that. We go so high and so fast that it's kind of almost going back in time. I'm refreshing the chat every once in a while, guys, now that I know that if I refresh it, I can see updated messages. So feel free to say something if you want. Market waits for FOMC outcome. Northern. The market will use news as an excuse to be very aggressive and run to specific levels. So we did have news this morning at 7:30. What did we have? All right, excuse me, at 8:30. At 8:30, we had unemployment claims. So if you look at the 8:30 candle, you'll see a bit of a reaction that happened at 8:30. Is it right there? See how I knew that? I just looked at all these small candles and I looked for the big one. Boom. That was 8:30 right there. So we did have news, which gives it reason to start doing things. And it did all of this. Now, is it just going to keep going higher, or are we going to consolidate till FOMC? Now, we could do this, get closer to all-time highs, and we do that, that double take. We run the high, and then we reverse. That's what I think is going to happen. If we can get up there. We may not get high enough to be able to have FOMC hit that level, but I've seen 100 points in 15 seconds on a FOMC. So it wouldn't surprise me just to tag that level and then start running the other direction. Because the only reason we're going to have rate cuts is because the economy is in dire need of them. and if we're getting rate cuts, let's just say this, the best news is going to be no change in rates. If we have higher rates, if we increase rates, that's negative news for the market. If we get lower rates, that's negative news for the market. Either way, regardless of the news, it's going to want to push higher and then potentially reject. Or we push higher and continue. But it will use the news as an excuse to do what it already wants to do. We just don't know what that is, and our job is to try to figure that out. But news tends to move the markets aggressively. So we don't trade at FOMC. We trade typically 30 minutes following FOMC to let all of the volume work itself out, start getting some structure that we like, and then taking a trade based off of that. Richard, done for the day. Thanks for all. Head into my hunting cabin. Good luck, y'all. Hey, I'm going hunting too this weekend, hopefully. I'm excited. It's still not too bad outside. I mean, it's a little chilly, but bundle up. It'll be nice to sit outside in nature, not sit in front of my computer screen. All right, so we're in the macro time. We're going to see how this works out here till 11 o'clock, and then we'll probably call it a morning. I'll be right back. Speaking of hunting, I just ordered a ground blind, and it just showed up. We're gonna go test it out. Yeah, I mean, when I look at this, when we know we have monster news at 2 o'clock and 2:30, and we get this type of price action, there's only one thing on my mind. It has to be reaching for that. It's like really, really trying to reach there as fast as it possibly can. I mean, honestly, you just got to buy these dips and you play the momentum higher at this point. It's just like, it's almost a guaranteed win. I don't have any music on, do I? Just hit the daily rejection block. CM, let's check that out. Nice. Get another push higher here. There's our push. We're going to get a little push. We're going to just reject it. There we go. Nice little push. Okay, wick into this fair value gap here. See if it finds support, not staying above or staying at this order block. What I mean by that is if you go to the 2 minute, you can see the order block sitting right here. We're going to find support at this, so we move higher, or we going to just push high above it and then start moving lower. Nice little breaker when it comes to the bodies. We got a low, high, lower low, barely. We pushed above it, and we come back and we tag this wick right here for a push maybe higher. Let's see if it gets it. CM, I'm reading your message. We're so close to all-time highs. I agree. I think it's just going to keep going, and then we may get a major pullback, but I think that's what we're doing. I mean, these are the days that you just ride these positions. I've never been one of those that type of trader though. I'm easily a reversal trader. I like playing reversals. All right, 10 o'clock, or excuse me, 11 o'clock. Let's see if we get a high on this candle. 30-second inversion right here would be nice towards those lows. See if we get that close below this. There's the close. See if we run this low right here. That's what I'm watching for. It's nice aggressive right at 11 o'clock. Displacement lower. There's that low. And even a bigger push. So nice 10, 11 a.m. high and followed by a reversal. Highs there, it's so common to see a high taken. Guys, the price action is so good today. It's so good. Man. Look at that candle at 11 o'clock. Right there. This is the 2 minute. What does the 1 minute look like? 11 o'clock right here with displacement. What do you guys think? You think we're going to get something else? Do you think we'll get another breaker? I want to see where this 1 minute closes. And if we get another push lower here, leaving this fair value gap. I'd like a fair value gap to stay right there. If it removes it, then that removes that idea. Okay. This candle here, I would like to see a fair value gap. My next idea is a fair value gap somewhere in there. Created the next two candles. That's what I'd like to see. Immediate rebalance, that could be a complete rejection right there. Immediate rebalance with the push lower right here. See if it gives it to us. I see multiple reasons for it to go lower. This resistance here, this candle here. I just wanted a little bit lower to that fair value gap, to that volume imbalance. So 5-minute rebalance right here. That's where we're finding the resistance. What do you guys think? Does it push through this level and continue higher? Or do we find resistance in this and move lower? I'm getting tired. Jesse, I agree with you. It may be too bullish. So your better opportunity would be to trade the inversion of this towards all-time highs, which is not a bad strategy. Here's a breaker right here, low, high, lower, low. Seeing if we find support in this fair value gap to move higher. We did hit 11 o'clock too, though. Give us a push. Let's see if it wants to go. There it goes. Nice, nice, nice. Nice inversion right here. Close of this inversion off of this breaker. Ran lower to the volume imbalance. These are nice. These look beautiful. Now, because this was left here, this looks nice. A ran into this, an inversion right here to these highs. That looks attractive as well, especially with the momentum we've been seeing. Let's see if this gives it to us. Okay, oh, that was an aggressive close. I don't think it closed exactly there, but that's still very close. No close. That was an aggressive rejection. I was thinking of taking a long there for you guys. No close. Let's see if it gives us this. Now that we've ran lower here, we filled in this volume imbalance or this fair value gap. Let's see if it wants to run. If it wants to, Jesse, I have to refresh my screen every time to see new messages. But your question is, if that pushes down, would that be a propulsion block? Give me the candle time that you're referring to. Give me the exact candle that would be a propulsion block so that I can tell you if it would be or not. All right, this might run. If it closes above, I'm going to take a long. All right, so I'm going to take a long right there. Let's see if it wants to give it to us. An immediate rejection. We are going off of this right here. That's what we took our long off of, the sweep lower, seeing if it wants to run back up to this fair value gap. That's really my target, is this fair value gap right here. Seeing if we want to reach up into that level. Jesse, let's see. Yeah, I don't know what time you're referring to, Jesse, so I just need to let me know. Target's going to be right here. See if it can give it to us. Close will be below this inversion, fair value gap. Now, I think we may be on the sell side of the curve, so this is lower probability, but we're doing it based on all-time highs and a continual push higher. So, but we'll see. I'm just following my rules. We swept lower. We are in premium, but this is based on it being all-time highs, pushing towards those levels. Being a prima bear. Prima bull, excuse me. Prima bull. But I like how it literally ran the other direction as soon as we closed above it. 1106. So the 1106 candle is right here. So is this a propulsion block? This would be a propulsion block if the following candle was aggressive. The following two candles, one, either candle 1 or 2 following this candle, was an aggressive close. All right, so it looks like, let's see if it, right here, it needs to run right now. If it doesn't run right now, I need to stop at that break even. Stop. Oh my gosh, I didn't get my stop there in time. We'll leave it where it's at. Let's see if we can push back up, but that, technically no. Stop is still not quite there yet. I want to get at least 10 handles. So stop loss is going to be moved here. Looking bearish. Put that down here. A close below this fair value gap or inversion fair value gap is what we're watching. Stop loss will be moved to break even when we hit this blue line here, or this swing high. Brian, welcome. Welcome, welcome. Glad you're here, my friend. Thanks for stopping in and saying hi. Now, I want a minimum of 10 handles for my trades. That's what I prefer. So when we hit this level here, I'm going to move my stop to break even, but I'm not going to take my trade because I want at least 10 handles in this environment. I want to get at least 10 handles. We got some low resistance liquidity down here. This is low resistance liquidity on the 30-second. Nice. This could just whoop and drop. I'm hoping that we were going to get up here. We created equal highs here now. This is a 30-second chart. We want it to stay above this candle right here, specifically. There we go. Nice move. Come on, close green for me. I was watching the midpoint of this wick to see if it was going to stay there. Nice. We should get a push to this high. We will move our stops to break even as soon as it hits there. And hopefully it will print us 10 handles. Oh my gosh. Nice candle. Let's see if it wants to get back up here. I mean, we got triple equal highs. It should run that. And then I'll be able to get my stop to break even. And then hopefully once we run that level, we can get at least 10 handles out of that midpoint of the 1 minute fair value gap. See if we can push up into that level. But either way, I should be able to get my stop to break even to protect it once we hit these triple equal highs. And if we don't, that's going to be a shocker. 13 seconds. Let's see if this closes below. If it does, we close the position. No close. SA, what is that? SA, is that's not San Diego. Where's South America? Come on, let's hit those equal highs. All right, you should hit it here. Come on. There we go. Position is officially protected. Now let's see if we can push higher to these to that. It just hit this fair value gap too, so we gotta understand that. Let's see if we can get our target without coming back and hitting us. We could get a retracement here because if you look at the 1 minute, we're hitting that fair value gap right there. I'm wanting us to just push right up into it. Come on. Today's really working some patience, isn't it? I mean, 15-minute trade, 10-minute trade. I don't even know how long we've been in this one. Been in this one since 11:13. It's been just under 15 minutes on this trade as well. Come on. Got to understand that, I mean, you could make your target 5 handles. My target minimum is 10 handles. That's really what I like to get. So 5 handles would be right there. Boom. You could take your trade and be done and get out. But my position's protected. It's a free trade for me, so I'm just going to let it play out and see if we can get what I want. Come on, tag it. That's basically there. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. It's coming for it. All right. There we are, tagged break-even trade. It didn't quite give me the 10 handles that I wanted. That's okay. Now it's going to rock and roll and blow higher. Either way, we're going to be done, folks. Thanks for being here. I am calling it here. I'm going to check out, update my, make sure I'm not missing any chats here. Let's see. South Africa. Okay. Yeah, not South America, South Africa. All right. Eva, welcome. I'm glad you're learning today. Two-minute. What are you saying, Keith? 2 minute. Yeah, oh, is the fill of the 2 minute fair value gap? Yeah, I can see that. There it is. There would have been my target right there. That's okay. I mean, we've learned a lot today. Today, honestly, was a great educational learning day with some great trades, whether they're winners or losers. I mean, the discipline to just put your stop to break even, your discipline to let the trade play out and not let your emotions manipulate you and tell you need to get in, you need to get out. I mean, there's some good lessons in today's trading. So hopefully you guys enjoyed today. We'll be back tomorrow. I'm probably going to do some afternoon trading, but I'm not going to do any live streaming for that. But hit the like button if you appreciated the content. Use the code DTJ if you do use Apex, the easiest free way to support the channel. And then there is the link in the chat if you're interested in checking out our Discord and Trading Academy, which is going to be launching this month. You can jump on the wait list to get the lowest price that we will be offering it here later this month. So thanks for being here, guys. God bless you. Glad you're here. Thanks for hanging out with me today. I'm sorry about the chat. I was really disappointed I couldn't be more engaged with you guys in the chat because something's going on with everything's been a little laggy today. So God bless you. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Take care. God bless.